Hi, Alisha. Alisha is my colleague here at Auckland Shoulder Clinic. How are you, Alisha, today?
Good, thanks. And yourself?
Good. So we have been doing telehealth for a while, isn't it, Alisha?
Yes, it feels like forever.
So would you like to tell me a little bit about your experience of how you have found telehealth through this lockdown?
Yeah, sure. Initially, we've been doing telehealth for quite a while now throughout, I guess, over the last 2 years. We've kind of had lots of different telehealth experiences with the numerous lockdowns. But at first I was quite hesitant with them because I think being a physio, we have the expectation of being quite a hands-on profession.
Yeah.
So I was always a little bit cautious about how are we going to do physio over the video call and from people's homes, but very quickly realized it was actually very easy.
Yeah.
So it was almost, I found it easier actually, because people were able to, in between work meetings or if they're at home, homeschooling their children over the lockdown, it was very easy for them to be able to access physio from the comforts of their home. So I think people were actually more inclined to attend regular appointments and things. So I think it's actually been quite useful for physio.
Yeah, I think so too. And do you feel you had to change or adapt in some ways when you were assessing people via telehealth, or change the way how we treat patients?
Yeah, definitely. I think, as physios, we all are quite, communicative kind of people,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes we just get into the rhythm of, oh, we'll just quickly do this and go with it with the patient in the clinic. But then when you are over a screen, you actually have to think about how you're communicating the instructions to your clients, and what tests are actually important to do for the most effective results that a patient could do for themselves. And I think giving the patient the opportunity to be able to do the test themselves, they actually are able to realize or actually really think about what it is that they're feeling.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of opens up a window of communication that maybe in clinic we may not have otherwise have had with some of the testing.
Yeah.
But definitely some of the treatments, I think in clinic, a lot of the research at the moment is quite a lot of evidence-based sort of exercise and things. So I think that has encouraged us to go down the path of prescribing exercises and giving the patients the confidence to do those exercises themselves in clinic has been, of the exercise that we would normally do in clinic, but over telehealth, it's a fantastic opportunity, I think.
Yeah, and I think in some ways they have become more sort of independent in managing rather than relying on us, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And one last question before we go is, do you think there are any barriers to accessing or adopting telehealth?
I think there's always barriers to lots of different types of treatment. I think when you're in clinic, for example, lives are so busy, whether work or kids or hobbies and things. So trying to get an appointment in clinic sometimes can be a bit of a hindrance for people's rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And I've actually found that the barrier in terms of telehealth, I feel like that the clinic barrier has actually been removed, because it means that telehealth is so accessible for people that even when their lives are so busy, if they have to stay at home with a sick child, or work is chaotic and they have to quickly go to a meeting, they could just pick up their phone and we can do a video consult. So I feel like it's actually, the barriers of clinical appointment has actually been removed through the help of telehealth. And I've even been able to access clients from the Coromandel and Northland through who otherwise wouldn't have been able to access our physiotherapy expertise otherwise, without traveling great distances. So I think the opportunities definitely outweigh the barriers for telehealth.
That's great. That's great to hear. I mean, it's good to see that there is a wider reach of our telehealth appointments, isn't it? I mean, people don't have to wait until they see some physio who stays probably 2 hours away and travels so
Yeah,
far.
definitely.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Thanks, Alisha. It was nice chatting
You're
with
most
you.
welcome.
Bye.
Nice chatting to you too, Pradnya.